win here against FaZe. If not, and FaZe manage to get a draw, it will be 2 points to MIBR. If FaZe win, it will be 1 point. Those are the options that we have for this matchup. But I think we've just had one of the players drop out. I think Cyber looked like he dropped out as we were just loading in there. So we'll no doubt finish this operator ban phase, and then we'll probably just skip out to grab him back in there. But for the time being, we'll see how the bans play out. Capitao and Thatcher are starting us off.
We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Never fear, rehosts, you know, they feel like a nice little skip in a park with me and Tim. I am curious to see if we are going to finally at all get an Ace or Malusi ban, but it doesn't even feel like it is going to happen at all tonight. At this point, it's effectively unlikely. You're probably going to throw in a little Valk ban or an Echo ban maybe towards the end of this one just to wrap it up.
Yeah, I'd have suggested Valk is probably much more likely on Cafe, particularly powerful, or as you say, Echo coming in there. So it's nice to see, as I say, that the LATAM team's willing to get in there and sort of have a go with it, and let's see exactly how it's playing out, where's the impact, and then, you know, you can only learn to counter something if you understand exactly what's happening. And Cyber, look at that, very generous of him, Jackie, just skipping back in there at the very last second, saving your riddles for a later day.
That's right. You know, we've had one tonight, which is quite normally reserved on the... Sorry, one of my lights just fell over then, Tim. I don't know if you heard the panic in my voice as I said reserved. I was trying to turn it off to cool myself down. I've nearly caused commotion.
You're not trying to copy off Veli, are you? You've got to be on screen to do that.
I know, mate. I know. I'm sorry. I'm reusing all the bits, all the gags.
Trying to become the Brazilian Veli. That's what it is.
That's what they call me. Funnily enough, that was my nickname in school. It never made sense to me.
But yeah, here we are.
now it's all made sense.
It's just clicked. There were some forward-thinking kids.
Oh, mate. You know, here's the thing. I might have derailed my entire point, but there's a train on this map, so I can re-rail it, Tim. We're on Cafe. Oh, I've got producer Simon in my ear telling me that I'm a very good commentator, for everyone that wondered why I giggled there.
Not quite an accurate translation there, Jeffrey.
Yeah, near enough. I think that's basically what he said, right? That's the PG version.
I think that was the meaning behind it.
Yeah. Okay. FaZe Clan taking on MIBR. It's the last map of the night. Everyone at home, strap in for this one. I think it's going to be exciting. I think a little bit of my sanity's gone, which normally means you're in for a treat when you got me and Tim this late of a night, especially on Cafe, because we've had conversations ranging from pretzel snakes all the way down to what Bakewell tarts are actually called.
Let's not forget about Nesk going into the Greasy Spoon Cafe and demanding his breakfast in the manager's booth. That was a highlight for me, Jackie. We can see bullets raining down here as there is an attempt at a spawn peak, and that says to me that FaZe are just trying to get in here and mix things up quickly and make life difficult for MIBR. They don't want them getting comfortable here on Cafe, and they're trying to really bring some thunder to this affair.
Would a rolling thunder be hitting them, though? Can they light up the skies like 4? Or is it instead going to fall flat like someone that's not very good at golf, yelling 4? For now, cheeky plays coming out from M-King immediately on the Cali. You love to see it with the Claymores. Perfect position of those, can deny so many effective runouts, and effective runouts is genuinely one of the keys to a good style of defensive play on Cafe. You can go for those wide swings. You can go for those spawn peaks. It's a super open map with the way it's designed, so make use of it. Putting down a Claymore there is effectively just a bit of insurance to deny any of those pushes working as well as they normally would. First pick, though, does go over to MIBR, but there's the trade. The repel, not looking too beneficial. And talking of runouts, it was off the back of Ion charging out on the Valkyrie, Tim. Good pick either side, dropping us into a 4 versus 4 as we get close towards 1:30.
Cyber absolutely shredding on the entry so far today. Continues from Oregon here on Cafe and gets himself another opener, but as you say, leveled up nicely by the run out on to cameraman himself. Ion will get a kill onto M-King and a second for himself onto Bulletin. FaZe are certainly trying to bring the aggression here. Look at this, playing right up onto the hatch from the underside of Red Stairs there, and they are certainly trying to send a message to MIBR here that whilst they may be the aggressive kind of team, FaZe are more than capable of bringing that sort of fire to the server as well, and that's certainly what they're trying to do now. They leave themselves 4 versus 2, and this is going to be a big ask with 50 seconds left to go for MIBR.
Goals lurking on the corner, waiting for the men that are skulking A peek in to see if he can hit the shots. Will he be quick enough? Tim, straight into the chest there. Unloads, and Soul shows that he still is a bit of a Grim Reaper, but it won't matter because this round as a whole is looking grim for MIBR. They have 29 seconds for Ace to clutch this in a 1 versus 2 up against Ion and Astro. Time slowly grinding by. He's got to push in. He's got to crack open that briefcase and get that diffuser down, and it doesn't seem like it's likely. The angles are covered. He's not leaving himself much time to work into it, and when he does finally get into a situation where he has to push, crossfire's held, bullets get fired out there from Astro. He shows that he knows how to hold his keep, show that he's earned it with the steal, and shuts him down there, smoking him with a Map2. Beautiful play.
Good round for FaZe. That's exactly what they needed coming in off the back of Oregon. That was a real sort of drumming, really, from MIBR. FaZe never managing to get involved in any way, shape or form meaningfully, and they needed some aggression there. You could see the players were itching to get some kills on the board. Fantastic angle held on the replay there by Souls. Real pixel peak. But FaZe, ultimately, they needed to bring that aggression. They needed to up the confidence. They needed to get themselves into the game. Have they left it too late? Only time will tell. And we're going to be heading now to Kitchen and Kitchen Prep. So generally speaking, what we will see from the attackers down here looking to push onto Kitchen will be a lot of pressure applied to the top floors for the time being. It will be about clearing top floor and mid floor. Get control of those, and then you can start to use those vertical angles down in towards site. At the same time, simultaneously, try to gain either possession of the white stairs area off to the right. You can see the deployable shield there that's going to allow the challenge to come out from VIP, or alternatively, at the bottom of your screen now, left as it stands, you've got the bakery area. So getting in behind that counter, opening up that double wall that you can see, and just moving on into site. The default plant spot being in and around that kitchen grill. So generally speaking, for the attackers, it's top floor, second floor, control, and then try simultaneously to get one of those areas locked down. You can push in then for a plant from there.
Don't worry, Ion's not just destroying the furniture because he's an angry man. Of course, trying to get his Valk Cam into a cheeky little position there for later use, not just being a bit of a vandal. However, hopefully that's what we're going to see coming out from FaZe Clan as a whole going forward, because the fact they did get a bit ridiculous. They went for that rambunctious run out into the previous round. That's what kind of saved them in the late round. We need to see that style of play, Tim, because honestly, it felt like their confidence was just gone. They got sapped on Oregon, didn't really find their footing to come back into it, and it just seemed like the energy was gone. So hopefully, if there's anything to go by, we've seen they're willing to go for a bit more of a ridiculous play there. They're going back to the basics with the runouts on Cafe. Hopefully that shows that this is the normal phase we're going to see here for the rest of Cafe. For MIBR though, they need to stick to their guns. They were playing perfectly on Oregon. They had really, really good setups. Obviously, M-King was really the only one that was quiet. You can't really blame him. He still fulfills his role. And now he's on the Cali, another operator that he can actually play quite well. And he has a very good understanding of how to utilize her to support the rest of the team.
Ion just spraying through the smoke there, trying everything he can to just catch any of those attackers out, but he won't find any inside there now. I'm pretty sure that MIBR are aware that he is playing inside coat check there, and they're going to look to push this door very, very carefully. I think that's the silhouette of Bullet that we see very possibly. Just moving towards that door there, looking to just try and hold him down, but cams will be checked, information will be fed back in, and the Valkyrie of Ion will continue for another few minutes at least. Cyber gets the kill onto Astro though to start us off in the round quite late, nearly 2 minutes in, but it means that we now have control for MIBR of the bakery area, and Ash will be able to open up that wall and get access onto the default plant spot as and when Cyber chooses to.
4 versus 5 then. A good early round opener, of course, for MIBR, but they've not really got anything else off the back of it. They're leaving themselves with not a crazy amount of time to clear those angles and get into a site. And that is what the focus is set towards, of course. They're on the attacking side. They need to get that diffuser down at some point, or at least find their shots. and do a little bit more damage towards the FaZe Clan roster. Cameraman's going to be the one that does that, though, as he shuts down the Valkyrie. KDS also falls over on the Maestro, and it's all up to Live and Yuna. Sniped in the back. M-King coming in, the sniper with a hell of a scope, and he's going to take down a man or two. Just the one, it seems, as Bullet will get the follow-up frag on our team. And MIBR, you can push them, but they will push right back.
That shot from the Kali onto the Wamai just looked absolutely painful, didn't it? I think it'd actually been shot from a different angle and killed, but it just made it look like he absolutely just fell like plank solid flat to the floor. Just watch this now. Watch the Wamai drop. It just goes down.
Just all gone wrong. His spine's gone.
Man down.
Get him out. He's had enough. Oh, man. That is ridiculous. He has been shaken to his core.
Certainly has. MIBR shaking FaZe to their core there on Kitchen and managing to get themselves the second round on the board. So that is now 1 apiece. Pretty much how Oregon started, but MIBR will manage to get themselves some real space in between them, not losing a single round after that point. So can they do the same thing here? Can they start to get in and see that success? Cyber has opened up round 1 and round 2 with the entry kills, and that's the sort of performance that MIBR need to continue from him. And as I said previously, Bullet can join him up there as well on that pedestal. And when that happens, this is a really dangerous outfit.
Obviously, for MIBR, again, this is a gigantic opportunity for them to at least make some big moves early on into the competition, right? You know, as we've seen tonight, there's only been 1-2-0. The matchup before that with Team 1. Team 1, of course, the team that was the #1 seed from the last stage of the competition, they were only able to get 1 win, 1 draw. So for MIBR, if you can keep that hype going and now spawn rounds together here, spring them together bit by bit, get yourself a really solid attacking half out of this, there is an opportunity for you to get another 2-0. 2-0s that are so pivotal throughout this league. We've seen it really become a massive dividends payer later on if you make the most of those big wins. And this is one of those hard games. FaZe Clan are not an easy opponent, Tim. It does seem like there is a possibility they can make the most out of this. I like the execution with the Kali to knock down the entire reinforcement in one go there so they can sprint their way to the site. Brilliant play. That could have taken a bit of a sour turn, but luckily they knock Live off his feet before he can do any dastardly things with that Nitro, Tim. And they're in a great spot here. Diffuser already down in seconds.
That is a fantastic play coming out of MIBR. I love that, as you say, the timing of those Kali shots going in, just busting the barricades in one shot, allowing Cyber to get in there, gets himself a double now on the round, 3 versus 3. Diffuser down on the ground extremely quickly from MIBR, and FaZe just had absolutely no answer to that, and that is the sort of aggression that we are talking about. Cyber 3 on the round now, Souls gets in on the action, and that now leaves us 1 versus 3. Yuna's got it all to do. Can he find one? Yes, that's Cyber off the board, but he was very low health and leaves Yuna in turn very low health. The Goyo here just reloading, looking to try and get through and have any impact on this round. No, he will be shut down.
That was a super sick execution. That's one of those that I'm getting that written down into my mental playbook, Tim. I'm holding on to that one. That was nice. There was also an opportunity there for that round to go so sour when we saw the Mute run in, just trying to end their dreams in the round, but it didn't work out that way. They were able to actually clutch it out. Perfect reaction shot there. Brilliant timing the whole way through. Great round. I like the strategy behind it. I like the way it was executed. They backed it up with their shots as well. It wasn't exactly an easy strat to pull off, but they made it work.
They really did. It was great to watch. It's one that you won't get away with again. There's no way that FaZe will let that happen. It's it's a one and done. But sometimes that's it. You just got to pull that out, and bang, you've got a round on the board. It's 2-1. You've now got yourself the advantage, and you can start to apply some pressure to FaZe. So perfectly timed from MIBR there. And as I said, that is the level of aggression that they will bring to things. Sometimes they have reined it in, but they've shown that they still have that explosive nature in the pocket there, and it's a joy to watch when it goes right. We're heading to reading room once again here, and I don't think we're going to see anywhere near the same. I would expect this time to see a top floor clearance and some pressure applied from above. They've got Bullet on the sledge there. He can open up the floor above, and then they'll look to get into the same plant spot. They'll still use that default spot, but that's likely what I would expect to see this time around.
Okay, well, round 4. Obviously, MIBR Getting a hard-fought round, and then getting one that was executed off the back of a very nice little cheese strategy there with the Cali, and now they come in back to probably more of a expected round. Something a little bit more of a known quantity here in round 4. They're not going to go for anything crazy. They will just play it bit by bit once again. Their split and pick was working quite nicely for them. Obviously back to round 2, so I imagine they'll probably just default back towards that once again. FaZe Clan holding for now though, and we could have contact fairly quickly. That could have been the opening frag. Ooh, a difference of a couple of inches, Tim.
See, I wasn't convinced it'd be the opener because it wasn't Cyber, and he's had the first 3 so far. He seems like the only one able to get in and get those entry frags so far on Cafe, but he really is putting his team on the best foot forward every single round, and they are backing it up at the minute, finding themselves 2-1 on the scoreboard, but the pressure is going to come into the top floor as expected. This time Astro, he will mix things up and get a kill onto Bullet, so we will see now what FaZe can do from a position of a man advantage. It's not somewhere that they've been after that entry frag so far. It's the first one that they've had here on Cafe. Astro, he's been really quiet so far today, and FaZe is a team that relies on him a lot more than they've had out of him today.
Yeah, he's been playing really well. Ooh. All right then. A minute and 35 seconds. We're seeing the rotation coming back around. Cameraman up on the roof, of course. Port of Souls over towards the cigars right now, and this has actually been a bit more of a messy one. Potentially M-King can trade it back if he hits his shots here with a sniper. He's not really getting the adjustment off. The beat comes out. That was it. That was your one chance. If you would have hit the shot then, you could have brought it back into a manageable spot. Instead, the impact nades are going to roll in and detonate him, flatlining him now and leaving it into a 2 versus 3 with just over a minute left. This isn't looking too good whatsoever, and it just keeps on getting worse as well. All on Cameraman in a 1 versus 3, outnumbered, outgunned, trapped miles away. This should be over fairly soon.
This could be an Astro ace. He has all 4 on the round so far, and it's exactly what FaZe require just to propel them back into this one. I'm sure he's going to be looking for it. There come the shots, and Cameraman will ruin his day, taking down Astro before he can get the 5th. He does take... No, he doesn't take any shots. He's still full health here. This is 1 versus 2. 30 seconds left on the board. Cameraman could actually do this. The diffuser is down cold on the ground, so he needs to go looking for kills at this point. 20 seconds left to go. He's going to get into the drone and see exactly what information he can find here. Does he locate anybody? He certainly knows where they aren't, at least, and looks to push towards site. Now, taking down the camera, they know where he's coming from, and I'm sure there's going to come a peek through from the white stairs. Yes, it will, but will not be successful. It puts him down onto about 30 health. Shut down as he tries to re-peek it. Ion gets the kill. Astro just short there. 4K on the round, and big plays from him. Just finding a way one way or another. And gets his team back into things.
Okay. Well, it's at least changed the storyline slightly and give it a bit more oomph out of them into this map, at least. 2-2 split. Seems better for FaZe. Seems like they're waking up. They're easing into the game a bit more, and we're starting to see more of that classic FaZe style, but I don't really know if it's enough. It feels like it's come a little bit late. And for MIBR, if they're winning rounds based off cheese strategies, based off just being a bit more aggressive, who's to say that when they get on their defense, they can play standardized, they can just hit their shots? You can have a man like Cameraman that's been absolutely slaughtering them back on Oregon and into a few of these rounds already, basically just acting as a human sentry, that they're not going to run away with the game. Now, I feel like that's the scary part, especially if they can get another round out of this here. At least 3 rounds on the attack. I reckon they're set.
We'll see how the next couple play out then as we head into round 5. We're going to be heading back up to Bar now. We haven't seen this site since round number 1 where FaZe were successful in defending it. Can they do so again? Cyber did come in with a nice opening kill onto Live, but FaZe just brought a lot of aggression back in round 1. If you remember, we had that spawn peak attempt coming out of the window. It was unsuccessful, but it just let MIBR know they were in for a game. We also had a great run out onto Cameraman as he was on the rappel. I think it was Ion who was successful with that one, and as I say, it was just all about getting up in MIBR's face, and You can see now that MIBR are very, very cautious about approaching that building. They know that it's a definite possibility to see that sort of style coming out again. Now, interestingly, FaZe do have a man on the white stairs. They do have the Valkyrie cams out. They do have all the tools at their disposal to be able to bring that aggression. Now, that could be an important drone. The Valkyrie shut down by who else? Cyber once again coming in with another entry kill, and that is 4 out of 5 for him so far.
He knows the style of play. Ooh, he knows how to hit the mark. Unfortunately, he can't go above and beyond to get the follow-up frag on the player above, quite literally. Almost did. Nearly decapitates him and shuts him down. Instead, it is just the 1 frag advantage for now here in the 5th round. Nearly just 2 minutes left on the clock. Astro, obviously getting a couple of stray bullets injected into him. It is going to slow him down and leave him a little bit lower with his overall HP to play with. MIBR here, though, are in a great spot to build themselves a stepping stone, to almost guarantee 3 rounds on their attacking half here, if they can just play the trade game, if they can just hit their shots effectively and go from this point to securing a round. A little bit paranoid about the players that are up by Cigar at this point. M-King still up on the rafters as well, on the very top of the building, waiting for the opportunity to drop down and converge with the rest of the squad. Bit of damage done to both KDS and Astro now, so they're going to be slightly weaker. Cyber's the only one that's actually felt the cold embrace of a bullet on the side of MIBR. Using their utility, it seems like they're starting to rev their engines and get ready for the moment to execute. We're going to see some of those walls going down. They do begin to roam back over and link up, and this is where the damage will come through. KDS dropped, dashing out that smoke canister here. Astro, a good long arm on him, will get it across, and this will at least buy them time, but that's not going to buy them manpower, Tim. They're at a huge disadvantage. If they don't hit their shots, that's only going to get worse. All on one player, and he's not going to survive. Yuna, he has been told, nah, not today by Cyber. Not only does he get entry frags, but he gets round-ending frags. Cleans up on the castle and wins another one for MIBR.
FaZe just unable to hold on to the east balcony there. Try as they might, the pressure came in from MIBR and they found a way. They found a way to get those kills, whether it be frags, whether it be bullets, it didn't matter. They managed to get the angles needed onto the FaZe clan, and that puts them 3-2 in the lead now, heading into round 6 in their final attacking round. They're going to be going to Kitchen once again. Now, last time out, this was round 2, won by MIBR. We haven't seen it attempted since by FaZe, and Cyber opened us up with a quick kill onto Astro, and it all sort of went downhill from there. If you remember, Jackie, they used the smoke utility early in the round. They just got in, opened up the bottom of the wall to clear out behind Bakery counter, and then just pushed into sight from there effectively. They ultimately lost Cyber in Bakery to a challenge, but then pushing in through the Bakery prep area and also just from near bar on the double door as well. Simultaneously, it was well timed by MIBR, and they just absolutely destroyed everybody in sight.
Let's see if that is going to be the same outcome once again, or if things will at least be different this time. Obviously, dream scenario now for FaZe, and what best outcome physically possible is to draw the half and get a 3-3 split. However, what looks likely to me, and the way I think this is going to go down, Tim, is I reckon it's MIBR all the way. I reckon they really do just keep on going from strength to strength. You get yourself a 4-2 split. You come in confidently to your second half, and you look to try and close down the game as soon as possible. Get the 2-0 for the day. With the way they're playing, it feels like they are the better team right now. For FaZe, give them the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, they were our second place team from the last major. They were only bested by the Ninjas in pajamas, so there must be a comeback potential. We like to say normally with Team Liquid, you know, they get put on pause, Tim. They're never fully out. For FaZe Clan, the worrying factor for me is if they put on the brakes and the brakes got stuck. If they seized up, are they too greasy? Well, I suppose if they were greasy, they would come off. Basically, Tim, the brakes are stuck.
The brakes are on. I think the stop button has definitely been hit here on FaZe. Certainly at the moment, MIBR just seem to have the edge in anything that's 50-50. They seem to come out on top, and we'll see if Cyber can get himself in and get that entry kill once again, having an absolutely electrifying start to most rounds so far. Looks to push in straight away to the prep area if at all possible. I think he's just waiting for information to come back in now. We can see the attacking setup is coming out very, very quickly from MIBR here. They've got the gridlock track stingers down, and that will prevent the rotation now. In goes Cyber, just looking to to clear out utility to begin with, and Kali is ready for that push there. M-King just looking to put shots onto anybody who wants to come and peek from the half window there. But in goes the drone from Cyber, and MIBR, they're happy to take a little bit of a backwards step so far in round 6 and just wait until they've got full information. Now you can see the ceiling raining down around these defenders here and starts forcing them to move away. The Ping 2.0 system will pick out that Kaid Electroclaw and allow the challenge to be made onto it. Now Kali just using that utility to try and clear off the electrification, but I don't think that has been successful just yet.
60 seconds left then. 5 versus 5, a full scrap, all-out warfare is what we're going to get, and hopefully, some hurty-verties could be in order as well. Bullets seem to be the man. He isn't actually going to get anything off the back of it. Spams out a couple of stray bullets, but they won't do much rather than just put a little bit of paranoia into the brains of FaZe. Time rapidly starting to tick down now, though. We're close towards the 30-second mark, and this is where it gets a bit more awkward for MIBR, because, yeah, you've got 4-5 players alive, but one of them is Kali, and Kali is a little bit slower to the burn in close-range combat. Instead, she's now dead. Ooh, cameraman turns into a starfish as he tries to vault his way over into the closet, and it's not looking good. It's all on Cyber. It's up to the Ash to save this one in a very awkward post-plant, a 1 versus 5, being pushed from all angles. It's like a horde survival game, and unfortunately for him, Tim, he's failed.
Doesn't survive for very long at all. Astro picking up that final kill. Ion it will be to get in and disable the diffuser, but great round from FaZe there. Nice retake. I think MIBR just taking any opportunity that was in front of them. Bodies were starting to drop, and when you've got a man in sight with diffuser in hand, sometimes you've just got to think, get it planted on the ground. But ever since this site was changed with the rework of Cafe, it obviously made that a lot more difficult, because historically there were windows on the bakery. You'd plant in there and you'd just hold it from a long range outside, and that's exactly why it was changed, because that shouldn't really be so easy in a 1 versus 5, and Cyber found out the hard way that right now it is not so easy whatsoever and was unable to cover the plant there. 3 all on half, and we are poised for a tense second stage to this match on Cafe.
And this is where we could get something a little bit more along the lines of what we've expected throughout the day. A 7-5, a close game, a very tight affair, rather than, of course, what we had back on the first map of Oregon. That was essentially just a complete overthrowing game from MIBR. Now here, they both look mortal. We're seeing some reasonable plays coming out from some players from FaZe, some players from MIBR. Ion, to name one of them as well. You've got to look across there. 7 frags to 3 deaths. Astro also looking good. 7 kills to 4 deaths. One that sticks out a little bit like a sore thumb, though, of course, is unfortunately live on the Ash. Normally very effective at least being able to get those entries. Let's hope that he will do that, and we'll start to see a bit of that. Now he's on his attacking side. He was quiet on the defense. Now he falls back into a role that he's a little bit more effective at. This is where hopefully he'll wake up, and we'll see a bit more of a well-oiled machine across the board from FaZe Clan. That I have just realised in-game, Tim, it says FaZe up. So hopefully they can phase up.
They certainly need to, at this point, to just give themselves any extra energy boost that they can to get themselves through this one and over the line. Now, interestingly, those Malusi gadgets have been placed in and around the default plant spot around bar there, so that's an area to keep an eye on just beneath that skylight. Obviously, they can be challenged from there if they are spotted out. There is the potential to just drop some utility down, although I would imagine there are some ADSs in place there just to prevent that happening for as long as possible, and we'll see if it affects later in the round whether we see that having any impact on the feasibility of getting a plant down or not. But right now, MIBR, they're looking to play underneath as well, and FaZe, they need to recognize this. They need to make sure that they are on top of things, because if not, MIBR, they're going to be raining nitros down, or up rather, from underneath.
All right. Well, 1 minute and 55 seconds. In round 7, there is a lot on the line. This is also a big opening benchmark round to see how well FaZe are now going to play after the side switch being put on their attack. Also, personally, just for the man that is live on screen now as well. Literally live in the flesh. as we wait to see what he can do on the Ash. 2 concussions go out. He's also, of course, got the hard breach tool to try and work with to see if he can open up a couple of soft cavities and potentially make some cavities in the teeth of the player ahead of him. You can take down the shield, it give him a clear access route to now charge his way around and get involved in 1 versus 1 against, I believe, Cyber, who's trapped in the corner. Yeah, it is. Just over towards the ankle right now, locking it down. Live taking a bit of back damage as well, missing KDS also getting tagged up, but they're not going overconfident into this. They've got slight map control, a bit of poking and prodding, a little bit of chip damage here and there, but nothing sustainable yet, Tim.
Exactly, Cyber will pop out, and then the Cybernetic Slayer strikes again with an opening kill onto KDS. We find ourselves 5 versus 4. M-King has taken some damage, but until Cyber is properly dislodged from this washroom, there is going to be no dice. There will be no push forwards towards the default plant spot. Bullet gets in on the action as well with 2, and Cyber gets his second on the round. It is the Cyber and Bullet show. 3 for Cyber, 2 for Bullet. It's a duo ace, and they smash the round and put MIBR 1 in the lead, 4-3 now.
Huge play from MIBR. This is good for the Made in Brazil squad. Clearly starting to show that it wasn't a blip. It wasn't just a one-half special. They've carried it over now onto the defense as well. And this is what worries me a lot, Tim, looking at it, because this plays to their strengths. It's a map where they can get a bit crazy. They can go for those runouts. They can go for countless spawn peaks all across the board if they're feeling like giving it. And quite clearly from the gameplay we've seen tonight, they are on it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do want to go for those riskier plays and try and do something crazy. And on the flip side, it just hasn't been there for FaZe. You're coming into a situation where Live invested so much utility to try and get an opening pick, to try and kill Cyber, but when push came to shove, it felt like he was just there for the scenery, Tim. He wasn't really going for a strong confidence ball. Peeked into a position where he just got overwhelmed. In the end, it was Cyber that took the peeker's advantage and swung on him.
Cyber should never get 3 kills from that location. That's the top and bottom of it. He cannot be allowed to play in and out of washroom like that. They cleared the Goyo shield, and at that point, he needs to be forced away. He cannot be allowed to maintain that. Or if he does pop out and get himself 1, he has to be traded out immediately. You know, think about getting somebody on that south rappel potentially. Put some grenades in. Put some utility in the washroom from the windows. But there was just such a one-dimensional push towards it. The way he's playing at the minute, he's happily going to step out and just start clicking on heads, because that's what he's been doing all day so far, and he was more than happy to continue doing it there.
See if it is going to carry on as well. If they're going to let him play like that the whole way through, he's probably going to embrace it with open arms and just keep on trying his luck into those sort of scenarios. Pushes back over to a different style of roam, but still one that he's going to be content with, this time on the Mozzie, but my limelight should have been on this man, M-King. Second frag of the game now comes out, and it's in the fashion of him getting a little bit crazy with the way he's playing it on the Bandit. The big Bandito himself, loading up the shotty, laser sight ready to rock and roll. He's being quite cheeky with the way he's playing it, Tim, and if he gets much more, I feel like FaZe will probably be a little bit frustrated with how they're going down into this round.
I think he will, and M-King not too keen to apply the rest of the Bandit batteries. He knows that it's a Maverick that he's facing up against, so there's not much that he can do. He does smartly get himself up on top of that counter though, so he doesn't start getting hit in the feet. Now, thinks about that next Bandit battery, but won't do it. He just holds himself nice and tight on the angle. Now, how aggressive is he going to get here? He's looking to push forward, but there's a man just looking through those Maverick holes into the kitchen prep area. So M-King, he's got himself into a nasty position here. He looks to aggress forward, but taken down. Takes one with him, though. Gets the man of Astro. KDS on the Maverick will manage to get the trade immediately, but that shotgun doing the business. Find ourselves 4 versus 3 now, and I'm sure from that position that M-King will have happily accepted that trade.
Oh, yeah. Getting that frag pump junior, that's a sick shot to hit. I mean, at that point, you've got 2 kills into the round. One of them, obviously, just basically the martyrdom kill with the shotty. He's going to be content. Ion, unfortunately, on the flip side of things, is going to be very unhappy. His smile was turned into a frown. Luckily, they do have a bit of a benefit on Yuna there on the finger. So the temporary buff going to be coming out to at least assist with a recoil, but they're going to be recoiling if they can't hold this push. They do keep back the river for now, but they're overwhelmed when push comes to shove. Cyber going in, overwhelming Ion, dropping him down to the 4, leaving him with a massive advantage. They outnumber the attackers 2-1. and now they have made them extinct. Another round picked up. MIBR, they take it to 5. 5-3 split on the scoreline, Tim. Off the back of Disable and the Diffuser, they're going to be content with how this is going.
They certainly are. There is absolutely no stopping MIBR right now. I mean, FaZe did everything right. They got control over site sufficiently to get the Diffuser down. They weren't in terrible positions for the post plan, but again, they just lost every gunfight. MIBR went in. They took a challenge immediately through the door between the two kitchen rooms, between the two sites. They just took a challenge straight away through there. They won it. KDS, he was led prone in behind the reinforced wall, so tough to clear out. But Bullet, meanwhile, moves around through Wedding, gets himself a kill in Bakery. Again, on a man, I think it might have been Yuna, on the Thinker, who was holding that door. He was waiting for Bullet to challenge him, but still lost the fight. Bullet gets in, completely opens up the round at that point. The last man, KDS, is surrounded. It's a matter of time until he gets picked off and they get in and disable the Diffuser. Absolutely perfectly played post-plant from MIBR on the defense there.
Nice stuff. Now this is where it does start to really tip the balance a bit too much. MIBR, 5 rounds. They're close to locking this one down and being able to at least shut down the game, unless, of course, FaZe Clan can effectively just, again, have a crazy reverse sweep run and go on to get this back into the region of a 7-5 game. MIBR, if they get one more round, they're guaranteed a draw at the very worst for themselves, meaning that is 1 guaranteed win, 1 guaranteed draw. If they can at least go on and get the victory here, getting 2 more rounds, that will be them with a smooth 2-0, a gigantic 2-0 in terms of the points, and what effect that could have on their season. Just having a look if they switched anything up too much here with the operator picks. Nothing really ridiculous. M-King now moving over to the dock, but of course we've seen he is quite agile. He will go through and fill different roles based on what's needed with the operators, so not too much of a wild one.
30 seconds in and no contact just yet, but reasonable progress coming in from FaZe. They've got themselves established up on the rooftop, taking the red stairs drop straight away, so they're looking to get that top floor clearance in place, and as and when they do, they can start working then on the vertical angles. They've got Ion on the book. He will get in there and just try to tear up as many floorboards as he can, but Live needs to be careful here. It just feels like he's leaving himself a little bit exposed to the angle there through that single doorway. He does survive after his drone is taken out. He'll start to move through and he's alert to the danger of the nitro coming up from the floor beneath. So well played there. Just dips back, keeps himself alive and looks for an angle down into the vertical area. He's just going down into trains there. He's basically looking to see if he can find a man. Now, Ion will open things up with a kill onto Cyber. I'm sure that MIBR will forgive him that, considering how many entry kills he has had so far in this game. But ultimately, it does leave them now 4 versus 5. FaZe getting good control over the top floor and looking to push forward. Now we see a very late reinforce going up there, and that is just as the battlefield is changing in front of him. He just looks to change with it, adapt, evolve, and see if he can survive and waste a bit more time up here on the top floor.
He is the Levolution at this point. We've got about a minute left on this one. Let's see if the playing field is going to be leveled, if they'll be able to bring it back into a 4 versus 4, or if this is just going to be a slow downhill spree for FaZe. Pushing their way in towards the site, shooting at feet and making it cheap here for M-King. He's not going to need to worry about wearing sandals anymore. KDS as well with a flick shot up onto Bullet, leaving it all on Cameraman and Souls. FaZe, you can grab yourself a 4th round here. You can get yourself in a position to at least be 1 round away from closing the gap. MIBR, they need to make a monstrous play here. Effectively, Cameraman and Souls need to get 2 kills apiece and deny the potential of the diffuser going down to secure this round. Bullets raining in from the vertical angles. The Hurty-Verty's not getting a frag, but at least getting a tag off onto the Goyo. This will slow him down on the rotation. Cameraman has a chance to really punish here towards the Maverick, but he won't come out on top as the top gun in that one, Tim. It's all on Souls now. Goyo backing off, but not really able to do too much. The fuse is going to go down. They're going to get at least that safety net to work with. At that point, it's up to him to win just off the back of his raw fragging power.
Astro successful in getting that diffuser down. Always important to focus on the objective, especially in a man advantage situation where you can effectively do that for free now. Souls will get his first onto Ion. He's being challenged from both sides, spinning left, right, every which way, and it will be KDS ultimately that puts him into the ground and stops his restlessness as he knows that the round is over, the game is done, and that is another one. 4th round now on the board for FaZe, and they keep fighting back. 4 versus 5 it stands now up there on the scoreboard. MIBR, they need to close this out as quickly as possible. Again, 3 points coming in against FaZe will be a huge start for them, and after that game on Oregon, you have to think that they are capable of closing this one out in the next couple of rounds.
I think so. I think there is a chance for the comeback, but a slim one. A very, very slim one. And for the amount of mistakes that have been coming out from FaZe, and just the fact that it seems like they're struggling a little bit when it comes to some of the entry frags. They're struggling and just getting that consistency. I don't really see it happening. They do make a last-minute 6 pick there, changing off of course, the Finker and going for the pickup of Ace. It's been popular the whole day. It's made sense. He's definitely going to become super common. I think a lot of the pro scene the whole way through, if he isn't banned out, just because of how strong he can be with his gadgets currently. Outside of that, though, just looking at the actual base core scoreline of what we're looking at here, MIBR, I think it's just a matter of time, Tim. With the way they're playing it, they're all hitting their shots. Cyber especially has been having a ridiculous game. They were pretty much feeding him frags previously when they tried to make their entry in towards the site. All it takes is one of those rounds, and that's going to give you a header wobble. That's going to slow you down, and that is going to knock you completely out of the game here. They can't afford to drop even a single round. They need to string these together. Round 10 is a big one.
Well, that's it. You've hit the key there. It's not even just about the impact that another one of those rounds would have on FaZe. It's the fact that as soon as MIBR get that successful round, if it's coming, that puts them guaranteed a draw and 2 points overall. There is then nothing in this game for FaZe. So as you say, this is not the time for mistakes anymore. They don't have any more chances to burn. They need to win this outright from here. 3 rounds in a row. And the way MIBR have played so far, I can't see it happening, Jackie. I have to imagine that there is one round in here somewhere defensively for MIBR to at least secure the 2 points. And to be honest, I can see a timeline quite easily where there are 2 for them and they manage to secure all 3. A minute into this one and we don't have a kill on the board yet, but we do have some good early progress coming in from FaZe. But how about that? It was as if we saw it in slow motion, Jack. It was one of those moments where you can see a tragedy about to occur and everything around you just slows down. Up comes the nitro. Bullet has tossed it. He hits the detonator and down goes Live. He's had a torrid time today.
Oh, mate. Images preceding unfortunate events. And for Live, he just got turned into a straight ragdoll there. He was gone, looking more akin to something out of Fall Guys than Rainbow Six with the way he played it. And this is getting a bit awkward now for FaZe Clan. You've got a minute and 30 seconds left to try and secure the deal here. Get a trade frag back and then build off of that. Unfortunately for them, Ion, he's just sitting there. He's just taking it on the chin, Tim. This is not good whatsoever, as he's now been left in quite an awkward spot. Almost half of his HP just zapped away from him by M-King on the cams, being a nuisance maker there off the back of the Maestro. This is getting really awkward for them, and time has not stopped ticking down either. Effectively, they have wolf packed up, all 4 players trapped over there towards Scar, waiting for that moment to charge in towards the bomb site. They need to find their frags. Souls has also got the late round lurk if he wants to rotate in up the backstairs and try and shut them down, punishing them from the rear when the call is made. This round is not going to get any easier. That's not the dream, though.
Certainly not. The throw not just going as far as he had hoped there, and I think it's one of them. You maybe keep that in the bank in case the diffuser does try to go down, but as they try to rush White Corridor, Cyber and Bullet, who else? They are alert to the danger. Shut them down. Astro will get a trade onto Bullet with a headshot, but that still leaves us 1 versus 4. He is going to need an ace clutch here to finish this off, and surely the aggression is going to come out from MIBR anytime soon. There it is. Cyber on the jump out. He just defends his duo, just backs up his oppo and gets that kill. He will let Astro have that kill onto Bullet for free. Closes it down on the round, and that is a guaranteed draw and 2 points for MIBR. Can FaZe get anything out of this one? Can they even get a draw on this map, Jackie? It will not get them any points on the board in terms of the league table, but even just for pride at this point.
Yeah, it just feels like it's such a struggle for them to actually get themselves into these round, Tim. It really is a little bit awkward. They're not really getting out to the site. They're leaving it so late. So when they do finally commit to an execute, there's still so much utility left for that defensive side of MIBR. Then they're just hitting their shots. They're also just overwhelming them with the sheer manpower. I don't know. It feels like the confidence was sapped out of them somewhere between Oregon and now. We haven't really seen Live performing to the same level I'm at least used to expecting see come out of him. I thought maybe we'd have him, you know, flip a bit of a new leaf since he was plopped onto the Ash, since he got onto the attacking side, Tim, but there still hasn't been a frag on the board yet. It's still 0-8. It's a real shame as well because that could be all the difference you need. You think about how close this game is right now when one player effectively hasn't been able to have an impact, and he is a big deal for the team. He has been someone that has been able to create waves in the past, and right now he's snoozing.
Down we go to Kitchen then for MIBR to finally try and close this one out. They are looking to get a 2-map win and 3 points so they can be up there challenging Furia on the leaderboard. And right now, I wouldn't put money against them because we saw them on Kitchen back in round 8. We saw Yuna get in there and get that diffuser down in the default spot near the grills, but they just couldn't hold on to it. FaZe had 3 men left alive at that point, and MIBR swept over them like an angry tide, just washing them from the Kitchen, just destroying them. It was as if bleach had been applied to the attack, and it was just mopped away with ease, Jackie, as they just closed out that round, got onto the disable of the diffuser. They put another one on the board, and that is just something we've seen time and time again from MIBR. Never scared, never flustered.
FaZe right now, though, unfortunately, it feels like they are quite scared, looking very timid in the style of play we've seen coming out from them. They have been put into a box and they cannot find the way out. This is looking a little bit better, at least coming out from Live in terms of the map control he's been able to establish, clearing out from top 4, winding his way down, looking to clear level by level, search out roamers, seek them out and put them to bed, drop them into a pine coffin immediately. He's also got the assist there as well, of course, with Astro. Spot the footprints over on the Jackal. He can relay a lot of clear-cut information that will aid him on the entry roll, but he needs to get an entry, or else that might go over to the side of MIBR. They're already starting to test their luck. You can see him feeling it out on the runouts, looking to try and scope it out a little bit and get an overall read. Cyber will probably get the entry frag because it's what he does. And of course, he does. Overpowers Live there. He is not living. That man is now known as dead.
Cyber once again. He has been so consistent. If I go back and count up, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 opening kills so far. Inside of 11 rounds. It is an unbelievable entry performance from Cyber here, and it really has put MIBR onto that strong front foot repeatedly round after round. So great plays from him and a huge contribution on this one to pushing MIBR over the line. 5 versus 4 as the push comes towards Kitchen and FaZe. They just feel as if they've not really got much direction here, Jackie. They've got the control above site, but they've pretty much relinquished it at this point. They're not going to be pushing those vertical angles, and they just seem to be playing a little bit scared and a little bit tentative right now in round number 11.
It does feel that way. And with only 30 seconds left and essentially half a team as they're getting ripped to pieces, I doubt there's much of a chance for them to come back into this one. They need to do something absolutely astronomical, and they've lost Astro. Down but not out, dropped on the floor. The Jackal is over and done with, surely. I mean, Ion's fighting back on the Buck, but I don't think it'll be much of a move. Overpowered by Bullet as he is mopping them up like a spilt drink. It's all on Ion, and it is gone. Dreams dashed. Cyber coming through with the final frag. That's how they close it out. GGs are dropped, and so is the map for FaZe. That is going to be a smooth 2-0 for MIBR to close out the day of games.
MIBR looking extremely strong there. A pleasure to watch, coming in very aggressively on Oregon and trying to continue that. But, you know, to give credit to FaZe where it is due, they did try to counter that aggression and bring a level of sort of heat of their own, but they were just unable to really make it stick come the end.